Yo, my brother.
Sorry.
How are you?
It's fine. Good to meet you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Bro.
Let's do this.
No, I like that hat.
Oh, thank you.
I they come left, I did not go.
We go see. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Sena Burgundy. I am a visual artist.
Yeah.
I like film. I like animation. I like classical music.
Yeah.
And from time to time when I'm painting and I probably get bored, I just listen to some Afro beats.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, tell us your journey as an artist. How did this start in that sense?
I've been playing around for a while.
Yeah.
My dad was he still practices, but they're not as much as when I was a kid.
So, semi-retired in that sense?
Yeah, kind of. He only works when there's a project available.
Okay.
Otherwise, he's not really looking for a project to work on. Yeah, so he's just relaxing. Yeah.
So that's how you started.
That's how it started. Just me playing around in his studio space, moving around with him on site-specific installations, and I think that's basically it.
Yeah. How does your environment shape your artistry in that sense?
So let's see. Initially, I started with portraiture because at that time, I think even before the portrait painting, what was popular around the time I started painting was painting on shirts. Yeah, so I got commissions from people to do paintings on shirts, and I think birthday cards.
Oh, you're doing all that?
Yeah, I did birthday cards. Yeah, so people send you nice short messages for their sweethearts, and you can put it together.
But the question is like, you see, as an artist, right?
Yeah.
Before you, let's say, put something on the canvas, what do you do? Some people are just like they take pictures and they paint them, or some of them are from their memories, some of them are maybe your environment and all that. What inspires you? If you, let's say, you're about to do a project or let's say an artwork, what inspires you to do that?
So many things. Sometimes some of the ideas are formed from maybe a line in a film that I was watching or a conversation I was having with someone randomly.
Yeah.
It also sometimes comes from me just viewing someone's art. So let's say alright, so let me take this as an example. If I take a look at this artwork and I really enjoy a certain form or layer or maybe color in that particular piece, it can inspire like an entirely new project that I can work on. Yeah, so it's just, I think it's usually a ripple effect. One thing grabs my attention, then I figure out how to put it in my work and expand it. Yeah.
Because mine, in a sense, is more about it. Exactly, it can be anything. Mine can be about people. Sometimes I just go sit on the beach and I'm just lost, in my head, and I'm thinking about things I'm supposed to be doing. And because of how my artwork is, I need to be able to make it make sense to whoever I'm trying to, let's say, preach to in that sense. Because art is supposed to be a message. That means I'm just trying to give you my message in that sense through whatever I'm trying to paint or whatever I'm trying to do in that sense, right? So let's say I'm trying to talk about let's say in emotions. How do I portray that in my artwork? So certain things, maybe the way you're sitting down, or even the way you go around, you see people have different expressions on their faces, right? And that can inspire me, and or someone can say something like, oh, okay, I go fit take do something.
Always. I mean, there's always a stream of ideas. I don't know how best to explain this, but then let's say this is a pool of ideas. It's always there. It's never going to get finished.
Exactly.
You just have to figure out how to pull from that source.
Yeah.
The source is always there.
It's
always there. It doesn't go anywhere.
Nah.
And it doesn't it doesn't get finished. It's there and it will be there and it's going to be there. Like the word is there. It is there.
That's true.
It's there.
It is all that's the point. That's one of the beautiful things about artists, right?
Yeah.
People forget the fact that the creative pool is infinite. It's there.
It
You
is.
just have to find a way of tapping into it. That means
Exactly.
it has to be consistency in whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
right? So there was even a point where I even started doing this. Like I made sure I was doing an artwork a day, and I
No.
don't care what it is. Like I'm done one day. I don't touch it anymore. It's just supposed to be done that day, and I did it for 30 days, and every day is supposed to be a different artwork.
It,
So it was like very challenging for me because every day I sit down, I was like, okay, I need to finish this, and I'm done, and I move. I'm done, I move. It can be simple, it can be complex.
yeah.
But as you do it, you're trying to train yourself, to be very quick, and you're also tapping from your creative pool you're talking
Yeah.
about. It's very interesting. I enjoyed myself. I'm not going to lie because I did it for me. I was like, let me do it for myself and see
See how it goes.
how I can push myself to do something. And it was really good. But yeah, what type of artist? Do you have any artists in Ghana or outside Ghana that inspire you? You look at them as like, or maybe you look up to, or like, okay, these people are people I can see myself in, or they are doing something I think I aspire to do. It can be dead artists or living artists.
I, I I draw inspiration from almost everyone.
Yeah.
I like Bright Aqua.
Oh.
Initially, when I was starting,
Oh yeah, my
I
guy.
really looked up to Bright. Yeah, I mean, and my dad as well.
Mhm.
So my dad, Bright, then
What's your dad's name? You should say your dad's name. What's your dad's name?
Martin Luther King, Nana Kwabena Apao.
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah,
Martin Luther King.
Nana
Okay.
Kwabena Apao. So I think it's Kwabena Apao. Well, usually we they call him Pozo.
Pozo. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've probably seen his work. It's just I don't know. So between let's say I think between the first 20 years of Promasido Ghana existing in Ghana,
Okay.
yeah, he was doing most of their branding.
Oh.
So cowbell, mixie,
Yeah.
Oya,
Yeah.
Onga. Yeah. So my dad worked. I mean, he worked on their projects for them. Branding of cars, kiosks, shirt
All that.
printing, yeah, all
Yeah.
of those things. And he led a team of creatives in traveling around the country to sort of like do these things.
They were everywhere. I remember when I was growing up, you see them
Yeah.
almost everywhere in that sense. Yeah.
I mean, that was those times.
Yeah.
Now the Gen Z kiddies, they're not really doing
Nah,
that.
back in the day, a whole kiosk would be painted with that.
Oh.
Yeah, be true.
And I think he started working with Guinness before that, and he also did stage designing and stuff. I think for Miss Malika, Miss Ghana.
So in National
Stuff
Theatre
like that.
Conference Center.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, what are some of the challenges you've had as an artist?
Okay. Well, getting the right audience to support my work. I mean, financially, emotionally, like all of those things.
Yeah.
And I think initially it was hard for me to figure out a path. Yeah. But now I think I have that locked down. And I know how to direct myself properly now in
Yeah.
terms of making my own work. That's why I felt like I was bold enough to have an exhibition last year in Ghana.
Yeah.
Because I now want, I think I had gotten to the point where I felt I had enough courage and enough know-how to finally show people the kind of work I am doing and would like to sort of like keep doing.
So you're confident in your abilities to be able to
Yeah.
spread to the world in that sense.
Yeah, to pull something off.
Yeah. That's very interesting. What inspires your work?
And a lot of things.
Because
Particularly
I've seen your
film.
work, they are really amazing in terms of it looks very intentional. Like it's not something that we see every day, especially in the Ghanaian art scene.
Exactly.
Your mind is very, very interesting, and I like to explore that. So what inspires that type of artwork you put out? Because some can be, you were talking about space, and another we were talking about this, you're talking about this, and it's all from you because you were trying to portray yourself as that, and it looks like you're in another universe. How did you get there?
Film transported me there because and classical music too. Classical music is a vibe.
It
Sometimes
is a vibe. It is a vibe.
you're listening and some people are like, Charlie, why you be old man or what? But I mean,
Oh no, that's the thing that people
it's
don't
a
understand.
vibe.
If you don't understand, you don't understand it. It works for you. It works for you. You
Yeah.
get me?
And I was able to figure out this seamless transition between film and music. I think it's Hans Zimmer
Oh,
that got me really into like classical music.
okay,
I was like,
okay.
Charlie, because there's some sort of a feeling when you are watching a film
Mm-hmm.
that is scored by Hans Zimmer.
Mm-hmm.
It, it was just a
Yeah.
really nice vibe. And then I got into film. I think I really started enjoying film when I got into animation school. So
Mm-hmm.
I I studied 3D animation and motion graphics at a
Mm-hmm.
portfolio school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So during that time, I think that this movie had been released. What's it called?
Was it Interstellar?
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Oh.
Yeah. No, sorry, not Justice League. Man of Steel.
Oh yeah, yeah. The first
Yeah.
one, right?
You
Yeah, that
actually.
was wild, huh?
And it was wild. Ah, because there was this part where Superman was he was now learning how to fly. I
Mm-hmm.
think the score for that particular scene is Flight,
Mm.
and it was by Hans Zimmer. And I thought everything was so elevated just because of the well, I wouldn't say just because of the music, but
Yeah.
then if you take the music out of that scene and you just watch that scene, I mean, it's a nice scene.
But the music made it. Okay, I
It,
understand
it
what you
just
mean.
elevated everything, and so I was thinking, how can I make art pieces that I like, but
Mhm.
yet still I am able to give people that sort of elevative energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's me figuring out how best to transport that kind of energy in a particular scene of a film
Mhm.
or an animated movie.
Mhm.
Most of the animated stuff I watch is by Hayao Miyazaki.
Mm.
Yeah, Spirited Away, Princess
Oh,
Mononoke,
okay.
stuff like that. Yeah, so it's me figuring out how to capture that energy
Yeah.
and present that same energy, but then in a way I find interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's and I think at that time too, art was well, I wouldn't say art in Ghanaian art was one dimensional, but then it's like everyone was doing the same thing.
I mean, for the past 4 or 5 years, it was a case where that was the thing. There was this hyper black pigmentation thing going on where I mean, the market was calling for that, so people
Yeah,
started transitioning their art into that, and I can't blame them anyway. But
of
it
course.
became like all the galleries were showing the same thing.
Yo,
It's like, okay, you know, someone who likes to be inspired by artworks and other things, you go to exhibitions and anyway,
yeah,
the point is it was, as you said, it was one dimensional in that sense, right? But
and
I can see the difference since last year till now. I stopped going to galleries for a while because almost all the galleries were almost doing almost similar things. There was no one
yes,
gallery that was standing out and doing something, even abstract art. Of that. Okay,
Charlie,
that would be interesting to
that
see.
that would be interesting,
It's all portraits
bro.
everywhere. But
Yeah. So I'm like, wait, how? I didn't want to complain because usually there's this thing that is said when you're complaining about something, it's actually a way for you to figure out how to solve it.
yeah,
So instead of complaining about it, I
exactly.
made art differently. I mean, there are still portraits in there, but there's a sort of difference to it.
Hmm.
It's not all the time the way portraits are and
Yeah,
people are, it's nice. People pose. Wow,
hmm,
Charlie, them poses though, they be sweet, more.
bro,
But
that'd be sweet. That'd be
yeah,
sweet.
Charlie.
What,
But
what type of messages do you want your artwork to portray? What do you want people to see when they're looking at your artwork? Especially because
mm,
I'm not sure you just paint for painting's sake, right? I'm sure you have a message you want to tell people.
yeah,
Like, number one, like clearly there's a money aspect to art.
of course,
It's a profession, legal.
Charlie, man for
It's
collect.
a mouthful job, but it's also very important for artists when people connect with their artworks.
Yeah.
When you connect and feel like, oh, this artwork really touched somebody. Somebody really
Oh,
understand my artwork, and you're like, okay, I know you saw me because this is a piece of me I gave to you, and you are now appreciating it in that sense.
yeah.
So, what type of messages do you try to portray in your artworks, and what are the processes you go through to make sure that
Mm,
message is, you know, brought to life? Because these are creations from you.
Yeah.
You're technically a creator in that sense, and
Yeah.
your artworks are more something that comes from you,
Yeah.
and you're giving it to the world. What I
Mhm.
see art, me as an artist, what I see is the fact that me creating artworks is more my gift to the world, not the
Yeah,
other way.
exactly.
So I'm doing it and giving it to the world, not the other
Mm.
way where the world expects me to do something and
No,
people say
no,
do this, do that. No,
no, no,
it's
no,
supposed to
no,
come.
no,
It's a very sacred thing for me.
no.
So my version of it is like I give you this. This is part of me.
Yeah.
I'm giving part of me to you. So my visions of life, my vulnerability, whatever it is, I'm
Yeah,
giving it to you.
exactly.
So when you find people who've actually like accepted, it's
Yeah.
very very cool. Because I've had instances
Bro.
where people have cried, and that's enough for me. Even like I've given artworks to people, and people see it and they see themselves in it, and I was like, oh, okay. I've had instances where even some of the artworks I didn't even think was something that would touch people, and people
Yeah.
were crying. I was like, oh, okay. And that was it. That the satisfaction I had, I was like, okay, message done.
That's it.
It's
That's
enough for
it.
me. I feel like so sometimes I feel as if I ask artists, what are the messages you
Oh,
give in your
wow, the
artwork?
messages.
Because those are the things that transcend time, right?
Yeah.
If you do something, because you look at all these dead artists, some of them are still like making millions of dollars,
Yo.
and everything. So like, what's the messages you have in your artwork?
So I think with my work, I want people to understand, not only artists, but like everyone else
Of
to
course, yeah,
understand that usually there's one path that is presented to us as like, oh, okay, that's the fiat.
yeah,
This is the only way you can do something.
exactly.
Meanwhile, there are so many other channels that we are not tapping
Mm-hmm.
because maybe we are scared, or I mean, before I started doing what I was doing, I was also scared. Charlie, this works.
You got to that stage where
Yeah,
yeah, it's human after all. It's human after all because you're exposing yourself to the world, and this is like
exactly.
something that yeah,
It's like you feel naked.
exactly. Like you feel very vulnerable, right?
Yo. So
Yeah.
like, yeah. I want people to know that there are different ways to doing something,
Mm-hmm.
and the pieces I wish would make people feel elevated and empowered
Mm-hmm.
to do some introspection and go out and do what they know that they need to do.
Exactly.
Because there are some things that you know that you need to do. Like no one is going to tell you. You yourself, as you did there, you know that Charlie, yeah, this matter I for sort them out.
Mm-hmm.
I for sort this matter
Mm-hmm.
out. Yeah. So you should be empowered to do what you want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. Make sure that when you are doing what you want to don't step on other people's toes. Because some people assume that before they can get something or maybe get this X amount of something, they have to be terrible human beings. So you don't have to be a terrible human being to be able to get what you want to get.
It's annoying, huh? I find that very fascinating. How okay, I believe everybody's journey is parallel, right?
Yeah.
We rarely into cross each other in that sense. My path
Exactly.
is different from your path.
Yeah.
I can support your path
Yeah.
where you're going without it affecting my path, right?
True.
But realize the case where people want to put your path down
Fine.
just for them to move on. It's like you don't need to do all that.
There's
You
no
know,
need for that.
you don't need to do all that, especially when it becomes very when people start exploiting people in that sense, right?
Yo, Charlie.
It's this thing, man. My guy, the art scene is very, very interesting.
Oh, it is.
From that, let's talk about the Ghanaian art scene.
No, right.
Then you're, as an artist, you've been in the industry for quite some time, right?
Yeah.
What would be your honest assessment of the Ghanaian art scene?
Oh,
What do you think? What do you think about the Ghanaian art scene at this time?
right now, I think we started from somewhere,
Started from somewhere.
and we are definitely going somewhere.
Exactly.
And then I think the main thing we have to focus on now, we know what others have done, cheated, all of that. We have to make sure that from what we do now kind of like onwards, we are able to put things in place.
Structures, huh?
Yeah, structures in place. Because I believe that once there's some sort of a system that we are able to put in place, those coming after us would, try to make it better. So we just have to letting go of the past. It's painful, but we need to figure out how to move, from that. What has happened has happened. Let's figure out how best we can put things together, and we also have to work together.
Yeah, it's true. I also think we need more galleries in the space. We have like how many prominent galleries? 3 or 4?
3 or 4.
Yeah, in the whole country, you have like, let's say, 5 prominent galleries. If you count the one in Tamale,
True.
Ibrahim Mohammed's that's the only like few galleries we have in the country. And as a country that's trying to, one thing you like as an artist, if you have your home base as a strong base, right? It gives you that purchasing power you want. You can go anywhere in the world and stand on business and tell them that, okay, this is my price, and people are going to, not based on your hunger. And that can be changed if you have a lot more galleries, a lot more spaces that actually exhibit and work. Because initially people think artwork is for the elites and everything. Because how many people will enter spaces or all these art galleries? People don't even know where they are in the first place.
They don't know.
Like if you go to other countries like Amsterdam and everything, they have like a whole place where it's full of art. Like the whole, you just go from one street to the other, it's like full of artworks. And almost everywhere you find artworks. If you go to France, you go to Germany, you go to all these places. They understand the value and the culture of art. I understand it's a growing market in the country.
Yes.
But I hope it gets better.
It will.
I hope it gets better. I hope it gets better to a point that artists don't necessarily need to be, the exploitation will be less. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of artists who have been crazily exploited, pure theft, where people will come, give them crazy contracts, right? From outside, I mean, crazy contract. And if you read the contract, you realize that, okay, the contract states that, let's say, they will help you sell your artworks, blah, blah, blah. They'll get you galleries, all that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, all the money is coming from your artwork. So they take it out of your sales and they share the rest 50-50 plus you. Like, how is that exactly, what's the business in this? And some of them, they'll force them, they'll sell their artworks because they are not in the country there. They're outside, they sell the artworks outside. Now the money coming back in the country is a problem. They'll call, beg, give me my money. You can't do anything about it. And they end up losing artworks, losing monies and all that. And there's no system in place where people even don't know how to read their contracts well. And all these things are things that should be addressed. I don't know whether we have an institution like that.
Well,
if we have, it's not working. You get me? It really is not working. But I have like, because the creative scene in Ghana is amazing. The number of artists who sing.
Bro.
I mean, look at yourself, bro.
People are creative.
People day, bro. People
like,
day.
Squad day.
And every time, like you go see every time, you go figure you see something. Then the next time you go see another
something.
Thing.
Like, oh shit.
And one thing I like is the quality is improving.
Yeah.
Because like what I like about artwork, especially paintings and all that, right? I look at the first thing I look is your concept, right? Whatever you have. So I'm looking at what you're trying to portray. And after I go into details in terms of the brush strokes, like how experienced you are in your brush strokes, how confident you are in your brush strokes. You can tell when an artist is very confident in their craft, who knows what they're talking about. The way they art, you can see the lines, it's not crooked. It's just beautiful. So I look at things from the other perspective. I just look at the artworks and I start going into details. Like I just go into details and look at, oh, okay, this is really nice.
No, I'm just loving the blue right there of that view for the edge.
Yeah. Like, I mean, give me different colors and it makes sense. And you're intentional about it. It's like, yeah, I really appreciate that. So like when I see things, it gets me excited. When I see art where I go to galleries. That's why I was really sad when it became like a one-dimensional thing. When you're going to galleries,
Mm.
you don't necessarily get excited anymore. I leave in
Yeah.
5-10 minutes and I'm done and I leave. I just want to get lost. And I found that when I was in, I could spend. I remember that I think I was in Germany, right?
Yeah.
Frankfurt. I went to this gallery there, and I spent like half of the day there. I was lost. I was just looking at pieces. I was looking at masters, artworks from where centuries old artworks and everything. Artworks that look, you look, is like these are proper artists.
This is
Where you
excitement.
see the things, you see the strokes, you see what they're trying to select. How? You ask yourself, like, these, yeah.
See, art improves quality of life, and I think
Jesus
that's
Christ.
what Ghanaians are missing. So
Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing now. They have this thing called art per capita in that sense, right? Where like
all right.
let's say per household, how many artworks are in the household in that sense, right?
Yeah.
I think we've lost that. I don't know whether we had that, but we
All
should bring that
right.
back. Where the perception about art, where parents and other things that I didn't know I will draw. Why are you drawing? Why are you taking it for
Yo,
pictures?
Charlie,
They don't understand the value of it.
if my dad wasn't an artist, I don't think.
That would be the part.
Oh, Charlie, like, oh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
then just slap me for one corner. Hey, go and
All
do
the
this
art,
thing.
all the artists I know, there's been a family thing. So even
Yeah,
if I'm doing an art exhibition, I tell them bring your people,
yeah, Charlie,
let them come and see what you're doing.
should come.
So when they come, they're like, oh okay, at least you're doing something. People are coming to see you.
Exactly,
It's a big thing. People are coming to see what you're doing, right?
Hmm.
It will just change their perception about it instantly.
bro. Cause then at my exhibition, my dad was there, and I think he was actually surprised that people came
You see?
to see my
You
work.
see? That's the thing, huh?
That's-
This perception changes instantly. It
Yo.
was like, okay.
Because I think I I couldn't meet him the day after the exhibition, but then I think it was on the second day after the exhibition.
Mhm.
I saw him and he was like, Charlie, well done. Because he burst in brain say, oh shit.
My son is not a small boy. That's it.
He knows like at the paint, at the work, but I think prior to the exhibition, I hadn't shown most of them my works.
Mhm.
Yeah, the works for the exhibition.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it was also fresh to my family.
Oh, so they saw it fresh.
Yeah, they also saw it fresh. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I think apart from my mom and my other brother, Disa, he's a photographer, so
Yeah.
he usually comes to take shots of
Oh, okay,
the
okay.
works in the studio.
Okay.
I think apart from the two of them, everyone else hadn't seen.
The art.
Yeah, they know that. Okay, I tell them I'm going to the studio, I'm going to paint
Yeah.
after work. Maybe when I'm done printing some shirts and maybe I do some 1-2 designs. Yeah, they know I'm going to the studio, but then they don't really know what.
So when they saw it, was like, ooh,
You bob.
okay. And they saw the people as well. It was like, these people came for my
Yeah.
son. That'd be nice. I told you I went to the exhibition with my little cousin because I also
Yeah.
want to introduce her to art.
All right.
And she was mesmerized by the artwork. She just
Yeah.
got lost. I was like, yeah, this is good. You know, like at least the younger generations are now seeing things. I was like, oh, so you can actually ask me, this is something you can do can be a career path. It's like, yeah, these people are doing. It's like, oh, she likes to draw. It's like, I want to do more. It's like, do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a beautiful
that's
thing
it.
to see. Like, oh, I like the way things are going.
I think artists should understand that you don't really need permission to be creative.
That's the thing. And sometimes I find it very difficult to be very to say these things to artists because I understand the other side because it's mostly it's multifaceted situations where
Bro,
artists are hungry then for chop
Charlie,
and they look at the trend, Charlie, make her do this, make her
do
chop,
this,
and they
cause I
sign
go
up
collect.
ridiculous contracts and everything.
Bro,
So you can say this, but I try and be in their shoes and try and
as in,
understand that,
me if you do me before, bro.
Charlie, bro.
If I wasn't like if I didn't know how to print t-shirts and like do design on the side,
Sure, say you go, then go exploit you plenty. Yeah.
oh like Charlie me self the black figures sometime I paint basa. I paint like
Oh, you paint of
no like I say if you know me that's like I do plenty black figures cause bro now they move like
because artists were worried.
they move
Bro, there was a point where the minimum was 5,000.
hey
That'd be like, And artists came to me, they were worried. I was like, maybe I should start doing black art because
Charlie.
I was doing it.
Oh,
Who am
the
I to
heat
tell you
catch
not
me.
to do? Who am
I
I to
say,
tell you to
bro,
stick to your thing? Because
the
you have
heat
your whole
catch
life
me.
ahead of
The
you.
heat
You want,
some catch me.
bro.
I say,
The
if
heat
this
will catch
shirt
everybody.
printing, it be this shirt printing thing will help me.
He help you financially small.
Bro. Cause I mean, for like 2 years, I didn't sell. Yeah.
But that will bother you. That will get to you. That will get to you. I know artists who have like piles of artworks in the house, piles. But the thing is, they can't stop the creativity. They need to paint. It's a release. They when you have an idea, you don't put it out.
Otherwise, there's just too much tension up here, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, what's your ideal future for Ghanaian art?
Oh, Ghanaian art. Make I borrow this one from Vodafone. The future is exciting. Ready?
The future is exciting indeed. But
Yeah,
let's
bro.
say my ideal future for Ghanaian art is it has its own industry where it's a multi-million-dollar industry where it's actually structured in a way that every artist is making money out of it. It's not necessarily structured to benefit the few,
But everyone.
but everyone. Where we have artists that have the platforms to be able to exhibit their works and sell their works and make a living out of that. Make a living out of what they're doing.
Decent living out of it.
Decent living out of the artwork, not necessarily hand to mouth type of living. You're making decent living out of painting and doing your artworks.
If you buy a house, if you buy a car, you get a wife, you get kiddies, that kind of vibe.
Bro. And I also want to see more artists traveling outside where their artworks are not in another country and they're in another country. They don't know what the heck is going on.
Bro.
I want an artist is doing a solo, is doing a group show in the country. They are supposed to be. I always tell artists, if I meet them, I was like, yo, you need to be able to go. Like, find a way to go. It should be part of your agreement that, okay, if I'm doing a solo or this, I need to be there. Because you being there as an artist, it's a different game changer altogether. You see whatever is going, you learn.
True.
You see some of the artists started doing, and I'm so happy when I see artists who are making it. It gets me excited because I saw you and now you're making it. So it's like, yo, bro, do more, and I like it. I'm always happy when I see those actually. Then they tell me about the journey, where they've been, how things are going. You see the difference, right? Like, yeah, I see the difference. It's not be you, they Ghana where the artwork day somewhere, where if anything happen, you don't know how you move, bro. If you did, they go up here, and you can see the difference. You can see the instant difference in them, the way they even see things now, even the way they see the professional side of arts. It's a whole different ball game. And I hope we get there. As I know other countries are way a little, especially on the West African continent, right? We have Nigeria that are doing it. Now Senegal is doing their own. Senegal is doing the biennales. They do it like every 2 years or something, which is also very good.
Let's see.
Nigeria's Art X Lagos.
They even have auction houses. You see, I believe that once some things are being done, Ghanaians really just like seeing something happening before they can believe it.
But yeah,
if you tell them, say, okay, this is how the thing works, but they want to see it. They want to.
Yeah, but I hope in the next 5 years. Yeah. And I also want to see different types of creatives doing things. Like I'm now obsessed about audiovisual exhibitions. I want to see more places like that where you can be in a room and the room is filled with like audiovisual stuff where you're immersed in the space. Imagine artwork like this, but fluid, right? It moves. So you're in a room filled with that. And there's like, let's say one of your classical music playing and you're stuck in a place, right? And just like the artist is moving all over. Zoom, 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 zoom. I went to this one. There's, Dali? Salvatore Dali.
Yeah.
I went to one of his audiovisual shows in Amsterdam. Amazing, bro. It was like
bust your brain.
The whole place was filled with like art from floor to top. They were playing like beautiful music, and you were just. It looks like you're in a space, like you've entered the artwork, and you're just enjoying everything. It's such a beautiful thing, and I want to see the diversity, and I want to see performance art. I want to see sculptures more. I want to see different types of art that encourages people, even like inspires people to even do more. Like And I hope in the nearby future it happens like that. You get me?
We're getting there.
I mean, I feel as if like even on the West African thing, right? We should be able to have like a whole like I won't call it union because union is very um let's say a main collaboration in that sense where we get to exhibit, we get to exhibit in countries where I know other artists, Ghanaian artists are doing that, but they're more mainstream where Ghanaian artists headlining a show in Senegal, Ghanaian artists headlining a show in Nigerian artists headlining a show. We mix around, we try and share in each other's like creativity and culture and just build that whole unity in that sense, right? Because there's power in unity. Even in, I don't think we have that. Like in our own I know artists who one person who can't tell me one bad thing, but one person who can't tell me another bad person about the same person. But when they see each other, they are smiling. Yeah. This guy is backbiting this guy. This guy is backbiting this guy. It's like, bro, what are you doing? Unnecessary pettiness, bro. You no need.
This matter.
You know, I think about just like this. Is this what you're wasting your time on?
Because I'm like, Charlie, here, let's just go and work, bro. Because already, like me, then I did studio space with Emmanuel, Emmanuel, they do this fabric stuff. Yeah. We like Charlie, it be because
very interesting.
I think at first, me too. Now I used to just judge works based on certain criteria, but in the past 4 years, my mind can't open. Wow,
that'd be very important
because I can't see. Like I've seen other works, and I'm like, oh, okay. So me too. I used to like think about art the same way other people thought about art.
One-dimensional thing.
Also one-dimensional.
Like it be true. Like art is. I've come to understand art in a very different way. Not like people think painting is art. There's so many different types of art.
Different things.
Like look at this guy, one of the talented artists I've met. What is called? That's Art God.
That's Art God.
Bro, that guy be crazy, and the kind of art he do was like, bro,
3D, it be wild.
Bro, even photography, we can talk about Aboya, we can talk about Prince Jesse. Bro, people they do things. You understand? Like it's all about how you're able to express your creativity, right? To a point that what I want to see is the fact that your art can stand the test of time, number one, and it can be on any platform in the world, and it's still regarded as a very quality piece of art. Yeah. And that's a realize like, yeah, you've done well. Like that's I don't want let's say don't compromise quality for anything when you're doing your artwork. Make sure you're giving your all. Like this is you're giving part of yourself to the world. So don't give anything. Give something that you know that if I put it anywhere, people see it like, yeah, where's this from?
This guy.
Like I don't want the idea that because people have this perception about low quality when it comes to certain places. Like I don't want that. That's one thing I appreciate about even your artworks, right? You look at it anywhere in the world, like, oh, this is a good artist. Like, where are you from? I don't want to say, oh, is he from Ghana? He's done well. I hate that type of rhetoric.
Charlie, that thing vexes me. So I even usually like to just say that I am a visual artist. I don't want.
You don't want to be defined by a space in that sense.
I am a black artist. I'm
a
visual artist. Like, exactly. Come on. I'm a human being. That's it. I'm a human being who does art. Yeah. Don't
restrict me.
Charlie, once we start putting in all these little things, he's from Osu, he's from Labadi, he's from Choco, he's from this, it sort of like limits the artist. Just say that he is an artist, she is an artist, and he or she is producing work. And that's it. Because at the end of it all, it is the work
that speaks volumes, man.
Yes. So why would you limit the artist to one, like a geographical, I don't know, place or whatever?
And we have to change the narrative in terms of how artists are selling their artworks.
Yeah,
because we need to get to a space where artists are comfortable,
bro.
And also I was talking to this guy Isaac yesterday, right?
Yeah,
we need art schools, bro. We don't have art schools in this country.
We need art schools, but if you actually take a look at it, it's not hard to run art schools.
Oh, that's one of my dreams, to open an art school in Ghana, like a proper art school where you transition from that into an artist.
Well,
You get me?
maybe because I've been in the space for a long time. That's why I'm saying it's not hard, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't
Because you have to
certain
teach
things we have
the
to
technicalities of it in terms
challenge.
of know the artistry, the technical skills,
The business
the
side too.
business side of
The
it.
business
You
side is
know,
very important.
yeah. But again, we are hopeful. That's all
Yeah.
we can be in the future.
Yeah.
And I hope we play our part to be able to play our part and contribute to the
Yeah.
betterment of the Ghanaian art scene.
True.
You know, so I'm
True.
hoping to see more quality works and more. I think you have the potential of changing the Ghanaian art scene. You know, in terms of your how unapologetic your works are, and if you're more outspoken, bro, get yourself in places, and if you can do anything to help anybody out, do it.
I mean,
You
why
get me?
not?
Do it from the bottom with your heart, knowing the fact that it's bigger than me, it's bigger than you. This
Yeah.
thing we're doing is bigger than all of us. You know, if you think about it in that sense, that you're doing your part to contribute to the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You know, of the next generation to have it more easier than we have.
Have it more easier.
You know,
True.
and put yourself out there, because you never retire as an artist.
Yeah. No.
You want in the next 20, 30, 40 years, the art you have is already appreciated in value, because your base value in the country has gone up based
True.
on the type of work and everything you've put in place to
Yeah.
make sure it goes up.
True.
You know, so we have to put ourselves in positions and intentional places where we know that it will propel the Ghanaian art scene into the next level.
Yeah.
And I hope that will be the case in the next, let's say, foreseeable future in that sense.
Yeah. Well, I think if radical, well,
We need radicals, bro. Like
Sorry.
regardless, we need like proper radicals who are unapologetic. You know, who can put themselves out there and say like, yo, this is what it is. And we need all stakeholders involved in terms of either from the government, from the private sector.
It should be private. It should be private. Most of it should be private.
Oh, but government can come in terms of
Government.
because we need policies that can
true.
make, you know, all these things work. Because without the policies, it can be, you know, and that's either in terms of taxes, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of what do you call it, schools and other things. We need a lot of it. Regardless of it, we can do it in the private sector, but if the government comes in, the exploitation becomes less, because there's a higher power involved in that.
Well, let's see how that plays out.
Because almost every country, that's it. Like they have like proper government policies that helps out.
Yeah.
You know, helps the creatives and subsidies, whatnot.
True.
You know, put them in a place that helps the thing. So what would your ideal future be if you're concluding this? What would your ideal future be? What, as an artist, right? Let me put it this way. What would be something you want to happen that will make your life easy in the Ghanaian art scene? Oh. You're like, okay, yeah, I'm an artist, but it makes your life easy and makes things go perfectly. Like your perfect situation, your perfect scenario of the Ghanaian art scene. What should that be?
There are enough galleries in Ghana, and I can easily pull an exhibition of, let's say, 10 works, and be able to like sell out within. And me selling out, it's not like people from abroad buying my work, or Ghanaians
buying your work,
buying and owning the works, and like actually are proud to own a piece
from a Ghanaian artist,
by an artist. Because
that's a very ideal situation. Yo. Out of, let's say, 5 artists, I can say 3 or 4 have been exploited. Oh, that's how bad it is.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is. Yeah. Every artist has a story.
If you get 20 of us in here, all the 20,
everybody has a story of what happened where somebody either steal an artwork or exploit them or do something. It should end. Otherwise, we'll kill the industry. Yeah. We're losing a lot of creators. A lot of people who stop doing it. Because Charlie, what would the point?
Yeah, some people chop some artists. So the artist is now like working in a bank. No names are going to be named.
Bro.
Bro.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll see how it goes, right? Yeah. I'm excited about Ghanaian's art future though, because I'm invested in this and I really want this to work. Especially in the diversity of the art scene.
It will work.
Do everything that I even want to see like performance art. You're in a room,
There are people.
people
will
just
happen.
perform.
It will happen.
They're telling you the message of what you're trying to perform, like,
It will
and you're
happen.
just accepting it. You need to do different things, because why not?
I mean, we just have to make sure that it doesn't get too ridiculous. Because
No.
sometimes,
We need to. Of course, there has to be standards. The standards are very
there has to be
important.
standards.
Standards
It's very
where
important.
it's more like it's also something we can export outside. Where we're exporting these Ghanaian creatives and Ghanaian let's say creative products.
Yeah.
Sharing it to the world, and people know that Ghana is also a beacon. I want it to be a case where you see how they are like these four powerful cities that control 80% of the art: Hong Kong, New York, Paris, London, right? And the whole world. I want it to be a case where if you come on the African art scene or even the West African art scene, you can talk about Accra or Ghana. Ghana should be a prominent name in the art industry where people are coming in like this. If you want like proper African arts or Ghanaian arts or artworks that are of good quality and can satisfy you in whatever way, in terms of investment, in terms of personal satisfaction. If you look at the artworks when you come to Ghana, I mean, we are vital in the art scene. You have to get to a point where the artist, the industry itself is vital. It's very important. So when they cannot not mention Ghana.
Of course, they cannot not.
Exactly.
Because there's no way you talk about Hollywood and then you not talk about someone like Christopher Nolan or Denis Villeneuve. Like, I mean, there's no way.
Exactly.
They play.
You understand? You cannot do that. You can't mention certain things and not mention other countries. They played a vital role.
Of course, because I mean, the whole world knows about Dune.
You can't mention artworks all the way from the Renaissance to now without mentioning Italy, without mentioning
Da Vinci.
I mean, like Italy got Da Vinci, Michelangelo, all these things.
Bro,
you can't mention
those guys.
Van Gogh and all the play and
Salvador Dali.
That's Spain. All these people, you can mention their names. Like it's just amazing. We should get to a point where don't go to mention Ghanaian artists. I mean, all the names, like this Ghanaian artist from this side.
This the Ella Natri.
Bro, El Anachi, I've seen his works in different countries. First time I saw his work was in Dubai, beautiful, in Ifya Gallery, and I saw one in Amsterdam. It was amazing. I was like, nah, this guy be crazy.
And then he did that thing with Hyundai or something.
Yeah.
Charlie, that is so wild, shit.
Bro, El Anachi is up there. Ooh. He's a legend, and he's a proper legend.
And then Ibrahim Mahama too.
Bro, Amako Bafo was the first artist to get art in space.
Charlie,
not black artist, first artist. Commissioned piece.
That's what space. I like. First artist.
Exactly. There's nothing to it. You can't take that away from him. Bro. And it's like it's now in the history books. First artist.
I mean, you see, when that thing happened, I remember this thing that I wrote down in my book. I have this small red book where I write things in. Yeah. Silly things that I wish would happen, ideally. I would like to have an exhibition on the moon.
Yeah.
That's something I think about. So I'm like, when Amako Bafo's work went to, so I was like, hey, Charlie, this thing, if it happen, it's not far. If it happen. It just be 1 2 connect, and before I realize, I don't know if maybe Elon they go Mars, my work we follow.
I never know. If you know, like he's that close to us that okay, it's possible. These are things that inspire people. Like if this Amakubafu did it, then that means why not me? I can actually do it. These are proper inspiration stories, inspirational stories.
And I think it's something I thought about in 2019 or 2019 or 2020. That's when I wrote this thing down. And I think Amakubafu's thing happened in, is it 2021 or 2022? 21, 22.
It's 2021, 2022 there.
Yeah.
I think 2021 because, yeah.
And I was like, Charlie, nah, this thing not far from you. Bro. This thing not far from you.
Bro.
Shit.
Alright, bro. Charlie, so, my guy, thank you for coming.
No, thank you for inviting me.
Bro. This has been an insightful one.
Yeah.
Ah, Charlie. Let's
I
do this
enjoy
another
your
time, yeah?
space. I enjoy your space.
All right, bro. All right.